My beloved in Christ, have you ever questioned why those who wounded you seem to escape without consequence? Why the ones who betrayed you, shattered your trust, and left you broken appear to move forward as if nothing ever happened? You showed them kindness, yet they repaid you with hurt. You remained faithful, yet they treated you as though you were insignificant. And now you carry the burden of their choices while they walk away untouched. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Nothing is hidden, nothing is overlooked. God sees it all. And if you stay with me until the end of this message, you will come to understand how He deals with those who wronged you and why their actions will never remain unanswered. You will uncover a truth that can set you free from the pain they left behind. Because right now, I know the weight of what you feel, the anger, the disappointment, the confusion. You ask yourself, why me? Why do those with the darkest intentions seem to rise while I am left wrestling with the wounds they caused? You replay the moments in your mind, the words they spoke, the way they turned away. It lingers like an echo that refuses to disappear. And the hardest part, you never expected it. The very people you trusted most became the ones who inflicted the deepest wounds. They were supposed to stand beside you, yet instead they became the reason you lost yourself for a time. The more you reflect on it, the more you question, where is justice? Where is fairness in all of this? But listen closely. God is not blind. He is not disregarding your pain. In truth, He is working in ways beyond what you can presently see. While you sit there questioning why life feels unfair, God is already moving. He is setting things into motion, preparing a response far greater than your imagination. But here's what you must understand. God's justice is unlike human justice. You long to see them endure what you endured. You wish for them to feel what you once felt. Yet God does not act out of emotion. He moves according to divine timing. And when He acts, His justice is far beyond anything you could ever arrange for yourself. Right now, you may feel weak. You may feel like they have won, as though they have escaped the weight of their actions. But what if I told you that your suffering is temporary, while their consequences will be lasting? What if I told you that the very ones who hurt you will one day look back and be crushed by the weight of their choices? Many people never realize the damage they caused until it is already too late. So here's the truth. You don't need to chase after revenge. You don't have to drain yourself wishing for their downfall, because God is already taking care of it. Every tear you shed, every restless night, every moment of doubt, He noticed it all, and He has not overlooked it. But here's the real question. What will you do while He is at work? Will you remain trapped in anger, replaying the pain again and again? Or will you step into faith, trusting that God will settle it for you? Because your life is far too precious to be wasted carrying the weight of someone else's wrongdoing. You were never meant to dwell in the shadow of what they did. You were created for something greater. And this is only the beginning. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you will understand why you never have to fight this battle on your own. You will see how God transforms pain into strength, and how those who wounded you will one day be forced to watch you rise. But if God truly sees everything, why does it often feel as though injustice prevails? Why do those who cause harm walk freely, while those who suffer are left piecing their lives back together? It is because pain has a purpose. Right now, your heart is searching for meaning. You want to understand why life allowed you to face this, why those who hurt you seem to keep moving forward without consequences. But here's what many fail to realize. Pain is not only about suffering, it is also about transformation. The moment betrayal entered your life, something within you shifted. The person you once were, the one blind to deceit, the one who trusted too quickly, the one who gave without hesitation, that version of you is gone. You were pushed into a new reality, one that demanded strength, wisdom, and awareness. This is where many stumble. They allow pain to crush them instead of shape them. They let bitterness take root. They waste years carrying the weight of betrayal, waiting for justice, waiting for karma, waiting for the day their enemies will finally pay. But what if I told you that in doing so, you are actually giving them power over you? The greatest trick of those who harmed you is convincing you that you are still their victim, but you are not. You are not defined by what they did. You are defined by the choices you make next. So here's the truth. Your pain is not proof that God has abandoned you. It is evidence that He is preparing you. Because when injustice strikes, you are given two paths. Remain chained to the past, or step boldly into the future God has prepared for you. Those who hurt you may look as if they are winning, but they are not. While they remain unchanged, you are growing, and soon they will see it. You may feel as though no one truly understands the depth of your suffering, but God does. Every sleepless night, every silent tear, every moment you forced yourself to keep going, He witnessed it all. You were never abandoned in your pain. Even when the world seemed to move on, even when those who wronged you felt no remorse, God was there watching. And here's what you must understand: nothing escapes His sight. The lies they spoke, the manipulation, the betrayal, and the way they pretended as if they had done nothing, all of it has been recorded. Every action taken against you was like a seed planted in the soil. And in the proper time, that seed will bear its fruit. Because here is the truth: no one can outrun God's justice. They may deceive others, they may even deceive themselves, but they can never deceive Him. Some people think they can walk through life harming others without consequences. They confuse God's patience with His approval, but He is not overlooking what they have done. He is simply granting them an opportunity to turn back. And if they refuse, if they will not admit their guilt or repent, then judgment will arrive fully, completely, and in ways they could never imagine. But you no longer need to carry that burden. It is not your duty to make them realize what they did. It is not your role to make them feel the weight of their choices. That is God's assignment, not yours. And when the moment is right, He will deal with it in a way far beyond anything you could ever accomplish. So take a deep breath, release the anger, and let go of revenge. For the same God who witnessed your pain is the same God who will raise you up in front of those who sought to break you. If God sees everything, if He knows the weight of your suffering, then why did He permit it? Why did He not stop them before the damage was done? Why did He allow betrayal, heartbreak, and disappointment to touch your life? Because every wound carries with it a test, not a test to destroy you. People often think pain is only about sorrow. But in reality, pain is a mirror. It reflects who you truly are. It uncovers your courage, your endurance, and your faith. It tears away the illusions, the shallow ties, the false friendships, leaving you face to face with the truth. Who will you be when everything collapses? Will you allow your heart to harden? Will you let bitterness overtake you? Will you become like the very ones who hurt you? Or will you rise above it? This is where many stumble. They let pain twist them into someone they were never meant to become. They let hatred take root where love once lived. They build walls so tall that no one can ever reach them again. And in the process, they lose who they are. But that is not the road set for you, because here is what you cannot yet see. This pain is molding you. It is refining you. It is making you wiser, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. What was done to you was wrong, but what God is doing within you is far greater. The test was never about them, it was always about you. And when you pass this test, when you refuse to let their actions define your identity, when you resist allowing their betrayal to poison your heart, that is when you truly win. Because while they remain trapped in their old ways, you will continue to grow. And one day they will see the person they once tried to destroy standing in a place they could never reach. When someone wounds you, your first instinct is to make them feel the pain they cause, to force them to regret ever crossing you. But here's the reality: revenge is a snare. It feels like strength, but in truth it is bondage. The moment you pursue revenge, you chain yourself to the very one who hurt you. You think you are taking control, but in reality you are handing them more of your energy, your time, and your peace of mind. And that is exactly what they do not deserve. Because while you spend hours plotting how to get even, they have already moved on. While you remain trapped in cycles of anger, they are out living their lives unmoved and unaffected. And that alone should show you something: they were never worth your peace. God never promised that justice would not come. He never said those who harmed you would escape their consequences. But He did declare, "Vengeance is mine," because He knows what you do not. True justice is far beyond human comprehension. You may believe that watching them suffer will bring relief. But will it really? Even if they feel the same pain, even if they face loss, will it undo what they did? Will it erase your past number? It will only keep you chained to it. That is why letting go is not weakness, it is power. It is stepping out of yesterday and stepping into tomorrow. It is choosing not to waste another moment of your life on someone who was never meant to remain. Letting go does not mean they won. It means you decided to win. Because while they keep living the same small life, repeating the same mistakes, you are rising higher. You are maturing. And one day, they will look back and realize they lost someone who could never be replaced. Human justice demands quick results. You want to see them pay for what they did. You want to witness their world collapse the way they tried to collapse yours. You want proof that karma is real, that no one gets away with causing harm. But here is where most people are mistaken. God's justice does not move on human timing. You think nothing is happening because you cannot see it. But what if I told you justice has already begun? The very moment they hurt you, the very moment they shattered your trust, a spiritual consequence was set in motion. You see, people mistake God's silence for His absence. They assume that because nothing happens immediately, they escaped accountability. They keep on living unaware that their choices are writing a future they cannot outrun. God's justice is not loud, not dramatic, and never rushed, but it is certain. Some will lose things they never dreamed they could lose. Some will wake up one day and realize they have been walking in circles, repeating the same mistakes, unable to move forward. Others will be forced to watch you rise while they remain trapped in the life they built for themselves. And that is the harshest punishment of all. Not a single moment of suffering, but an entire life of emptiness. A life where no matter what they achieve, they cannot find true joy, true peace, or true love, because they destroyed the very things that could have saved them. This is why you don't need to spend your strength chasing after justice. God is already taking care of it. And when the appointed time comes, they will bear the weight of their own actions, not because you forced it, but because God's law can never be broken. So don't ask, why haven't they suffered yet? Instead, ask yourself, why am I still delaying to live my life? Because while they march toward their consequences, your future is waiting for you. Clinging to pain may feel like protection. You convince yourself that if you hold on to the memory of what they did, if you keep the anger alive, you'll never be hurt in the same way again. You build walls around your heart. You replay the betrayal over and over. You tell yourself that moving on means they have won. But here's the truth. Holding on does not guard you, it poisons you. The longer you keep resentment alive, the more power you surrender to them over your life. They may be gone, but their actions still occupy your thoughts, your emotions, your peace. And that is the very thing they do not deserve. Letting go is not saying what they did was acceptable. It is not pretending it never happened. Letting go means you refuse to let their choices dictate your future, because every moment you waste on anger is a moment stolen from your own joy. And here's what most fail to understand. Letting go is not weakness, it is strength. It is the highest act of courage. It means you are no longer imprisoned by the past. It means you have chosen freedom over bitterness. It means you are no longer waiting for their downfall just to feel peace. The instant you choose to release the pain, something shifts. Your mind grows lighter, your heart begins to mend. And without effort, you start to step into the person you were always destined to be: stronger, unstoppable. And here's the irony: those who hurt you will notice it. They expected you to stay bitter, to stay shattered, to be consumed by what they did. But when they see you smiling again, thriving, rising to heights they never imagined, that is when they will feel the heavy weight of their own decisions. Because the greatest revenge is no revenge at all. It is moving forward. It is becoming everything they tried to destroy. It is proving without speaking a word that they never had power over you. And when that day arrives, you won't even care what becomes of them, because you'll be too occupied with winning. The day will come when the very people who wounded you, betrayed you, and doubted you will have no choice but to watch you rise. They thought they destroyed you. They thought you would never recover, never rise again, never return to who you once were. But here's what they did not realize: God is a healer. What was meant to break you will only make you stronger. What was meant to leave you empty will be replaced with more than you ever lost. What was meant to ruin you will become the very thing that builds you into the person you were always destined to be. Because God not only heals, He restores. He takes what was torn apart and reshapes it into something greater. He takes what was stolen and multiplies it back. And here's the beautiful part: the pain they caused will never define you. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it changed you, but it did not end you. It did not cancel your purpose. It did not erase what God has prepared for your life. In fact, it was necessary, because through the pain you matured. Through the heartbreak you gained wisdom. Through the struggle you discovered strength you never knew you carried. And now you are walking into a future they will never belong to. They thought they left you shattered, but God is making you whole. They thought they closed your story, but God is only beginning. And one day when you look back, you won't even recognize the person you used to be, because the pain will be gone. The anger will be gone, and the weight of their actions will be nothing more than a faint memory. What will remain is the version of you that God was forming all along: stronger, wiser, unstoppable. And this is how God responds to those who harmed you: by turning what was meant for your destruction into the very process that shaped your transformation.